Hi, I'm Raja, a full stack engineer for over 5+ years now. And back in 2023, I was invited by my university to attend an event that they held that also included a bunch of higher up execs from big tech companies. I'll skip what it was for and all that jazz because frankly it doesn't really matter. But what matters is this: pretty much all of the execs that were there were proudly going on about how they have replaced all of their juniors with AI. And again, to reiterate, this was back in 2023 when AI was still cursed enough to morph Will Smith into spaghetti. This is exactly the sentiment that has been going on for a while now. Ever since AI came into the picture, tech jobs are being replaced. Juniors no longer have opportunities because they just are inefficient and cost way too much to hire and train and develop them over time into seniors. And so these companies just skip the process and go right to the end where they just skip and hire these senior developers. Just a quick nitpick, by the way, do these companies not realize that seniors have this really powerful thing that they do, one thing that AI will never be able to replace? What do you do then? Now that you have neglected the process of taking in juniors and slowly over time giving them experience and turn them into seniors. Like imagine trying to hire a pilot and you banned flight schools 10 years ago. Like, congrats, you now have no pilots. I digress. But for a moment, let's set aside this entire perspective about AI and let's look at all the other things that has also been going around in the market. A YouTube channel called The Senior Dev made an amazing in-depth video about this, and I'll link it down below for you guys to watch, and please go check it out. But to summarize, companies have been overhiring, right? There's been an influx of tech jobs, particularly during the period when COVID hit. And so they've been massively giving compensations and overhiring these developers who then write a few lines of code or do a bit of bug fixes here and there every now and then. And the issue with large companies is that they usually have very specific roles for each engineer because they're usually working in a large team, and even more so with their overhiring shenanigans. And so you end up with engineers that are specialized in one discipline or in a particular tech stack, like front-end engineering, back-end engineering, DevOps, system design, React, Node.js, and so on. And when companies start realizing that they don't really need that many and they can do with way little, and they start looking for engineers to lay off, who do you think they go for? The engineers that are specialized in only one particular aspect that does a bit of coding and bug fixing every now and then, or the engineers that have their toes dipped in, toes, feet, foot, legs dipped in, toes, yeah, or the engineers that have their toes dipped in multiple different disciplines of engineering that can take on multiple roles and easily switch teams or projects. I mean, it sucks because then the notion becomes that as an engineer, you would have to be experienced and be knowledgeable on all ends while your compensation kind of stays the same. There's more stress to pick up and learn new tech stacks quickly, going from front end to back end, where a month before you were building React components for internal teams use, and now you have to deploy stacks in CloudFormation and implement proper logging methods that you can then use to debug in CloudWatch. A very general and simple example, but I think you get the point. And this is where I think AI comes in to help us instead of replace us, and some of you may already know where I'm going with this. With AI, we now have an unprecedented level of speed of which we can learn and pick up something new. Now, a key word that the senior dev brought up was adaptability. That sounded a bit too sad. Adaptability, being able to adapt in changes in roles, changes in stack, a sharp shift in your new project that doesn't really have that much to do with your previous experience, and being able to learn the relevant skills needed, process them, implement them quickly so that you are still able to deliver an impactful and meaningful solution with efficiency. I'll give you a real life example. Myself, I went from designing and building components in React to creating a dashboard from scratch using Vue, to then integrating components together on the front end using Angular, to building APIs using Fast API in DynamoDB, to then completely shifting and becoming a business analyst for half a year where I was solely focused on documentation and client meetings, to handling system design in AWS, and now creating synthetic monitors for APIs on a monitoring platform that I've never even heard of. Now, I'm not great. I'm not smart. In fact, I'm pretty dumb. Like a lot of my web searches are in incognito and I have to turn my phone brightness all the way down in public. But it's not enough because people can still see me, and what if they find out that I've been Googling if it's okay to drink coffee and then have a hot shower immediately? Like, or if I'll get a stroke. And don't even get me started on the questions I asked ChatGPT. Like the new temporary chat feature, bro, is such a lifesaver. Previously, I'd have to create a new chat for every dumb question I make, and it'll come up with the most embarrassing titles, like the sidebar next to it, the most embarrassing titles, bro, and I have to delete each one of them manually. But yeah, if a goofy dummy dumb like me can do all that and actually deliver meaningful results within a short period of time, anyone can do it. So how did I do it? Yeah, AI. I didn't know why I was setting up for some grand reveal, as if you don't already know what this video was about, as if I've not already mentioned AI so many times in this video, in the title as well. I'm pretty sure I have it. Guys, it's AI. Ooh, it's AI, guys. Can you imagine? It's actually AI. So yeah, I didn't have to go through hours on documentation trying to figure out what is the exact terminology or formatting to update a Lambda stack in CloudFormation. Also, could you tell that I've been learning CloudFormation and AWS a lot, in case I haven't referenced it enough? Yeah, can you tell? I just wanted to check. I just wanted to make sure, like, you guys know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's one of the recent things that I've been learning, and one of the better examples I have as well. I'm sorry, like I'm gonna use it, okay? Like, all I had to do was put in a prompt in ChatGPT and ask it how I should add it into the stacks, given the current stacks that is available, and it just tells me how. Now, of course, it's never plug and play. You actually have to digest and try and understand what it just spat out, right? You never should just copy and paste it without properly understanding what it means. But even then, it takes way less time compared to going through all the documentations one by one, because you can just ask it, like, what is this format? Like, why is it this way? Can I do it this way instead? Like, if I plug it in here, will it make any difference from plugging it in there? If so, why? And so by asking these questions, by treating it as a tutor, you get to understand everything that you need to pretty quickly, and only the things that you need to. The things you don't need to, you don't even need to understand it. Like, so by doing that, you're not only implementing the solution, but you're also learning the fundamentals at the same time, which is very important, right? Like, this entire thing comes with a huge asterisk, which is that you need to be able to detect when it gives you shitty code or when it's hallucinating thanks to a sloppy prompt. Like, you need to be able to detect all this, and you need to understand what it's giving you. And as I mentioned, it takes time, but relatively way shorter time, and you get to make valuable, impactful contributions. So what does this mean for you as a developer? Especially if you're a junior. Don't put all of your eggs into one basket. Like, don't just focus on one discipline or one tech stack like React or front-end engineering. Branch out and continue learning. Take the likeness of a tree. Definitely not Googling trees anatomy now to make sure that I am how anatomy. I'm smart, guys. I've been doing engineering for 5 years, guys. Trunk. Yeah, trunk. I was gonna say bark, by the way. What is a bark? Tree bark. A tree bark is the outermost layer. I mean, kinda. Now we're using trunk. A tree's trunk. Okay. Back to my point. Take the likeness of a tree. Your trunk has to be solid and strong. Your roots have to be deep and thorough. But the higher the number of branches you have and the wider they are, the bigger the shadow you cast. Second, be strong in your fundamentals. Again, guys, like, your branches mean nothing if they are thin and weak because they can just snap out easily. Now, don't spend too much time over analyzing something way more than you need to, but don't skim over the fundamentals as well. This takes time to find this balance, but like anything, it is a skill, and with time you will figure out that skill. And as I said, use AI as a tutor. Ask questions. When you don't understand something, don't just ignore it. Ask it. Keep asking it. If you're asking a human, if you're asking like your colleague on how this works and you don't understand it, the third, fourth time you go, they're gonna. But AI doesn't. It's gonna say like, hi, yes, hello, my good sir, this is exactly what it means. Hello, hi. So fundamentals. Understand what you need to learn before you start implementing it. Last but not least, find a way to document your newfound learnings and skills so that you can make up for your lack of experience. Now more than ever, it's so easy to make a portfolio of applications, websites, host them for free on a link that you can then put into your resume or use it in a job application for your employees to refer to. AI makes it super easy to churn basic repetitive code like authentication flow. For example, if you have implemented an auth flow like 10 times, why would you do it the 11th time? Nothing much is going to change. Just use AI to generate it, and then you can use the time you have left, the free time you have, to add a creative flow to it, to put in your own twist, right? Make it stand out, to catch the attention of your employers while also demonstrating your ability to build something from scratch. All of this, of course, is easier said than done. You're not going to figure out all of this and get it done overnight. This is a process that takes time and effort and a commitment to lifelong learning. But it is the same for everyone, right? It's the same for me, it's the same for you, it's the same for a developer that has been working for the past 20 years. And that's exactly why I wanted to start this YouTube channel as well, to share my workflows that makes life easier for me, to share my experiences and what I've learned from them, to share my thoughts and opinions on the different ways of using AI tools that can then make you a better developer, to make tutorials building end-to-end projects using AI and how I would go about it personally, how I would learn a new tech stack quickly, so on and so forth. I want to use this platform as a way for me to improve myself and become a better and more capable engineer, and share my experiences and learnings with you guys so that you can become better engineers yourselves. I'd love to create polls and to understand what you guys want as well, and that is something I have in mind for the future. So please subscribe if you want to come along with me in this journey and see more of what I've just shared. And don't forget to absolutely decimate that like button and give YouTube a DDoS attack, because that really helps. Remember guys, AI right now is like a hammer, a really good hammer, a hammer that can sometimes even hammer nails by itself. But the hammer doesn't build the house, you do. And if you know how to properly utilize this tool, this hammer, when to use it, you'll build faster, stronger, and better houses compared to those who completely ignore AI or just blindly rely on it. Okay, bye.